Lily Smith, who is a first year at Canterbury Christ Church, depends on the DSA funding to help her cope with living at uni with diabetes. But this funding has come under threat by the government's plans to cut the funding by as much as 60% of the overall budget. I asked her how the funding has benefited her.
They gave me a fridge because I actually needed it, because we thought it would be a lot easier if I had my insulin stored in my own fridge rather than the communal one. Because if it was in the communal one and people, due to no fault of their own, came and dropped it, were a bit drunk, dropped it, I would be completely messed up and it would be a lot of disruptions.
David Willett, the Minister for University and Science, described the cuts as modernising the disabled student allowance. He plans for the funding to come from university budgets directly. With higher education funding already being cut, will this put disabled students off applying for university?
It will definitely put people off applying for universities further away from home, because if it is cut and something does happen that would cost them a lot to get home, it will also maybe put them at risk, because if I couldn't afford the fridge, if I didn't have this given to me, I wouldn't have gone out and bought it. So I would have had to put it in the communal fridge and it could have been at a risk. So I do think it is a negative, because people do need that money. They don't apply for nothing.
This is what a DSA spokesman had to say.
Well, we are aware that actually numbers of disabled students attending universities has been rising over the past decade. From figures that we have, we know that in 2005, 119,545 disabled students were in higher education, accounting for 5.8% of the student population. We saw a dramatic rise by the time 2012 came, where 215,370 disabled students were in higher education and 8.6% of the overall student population.
What do the students think?
Maybe, as there are some students who would probably benefit more than me, and I wouldn't want to take the privileges they may get away from them. For instance, like extra time or some money for some equipment, things like that.
This has been Charlie Banks reporting from Canterbury Christ Church University.